Well, we'll give you that one. We'll give you that one, Dave. Yeah. All right, let's get started because it's 5 after 5. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Welcome to the first meeting of the Cuyahoga County Council for 2012. This is our 36th regular meeting and our 250th meeting overall. If you total we have had 249 special meetings, regular meetings, committee meetings, other gatherings of the council here in the council chamber. We have also had over 2,350,000 hits on our website. We look forward to the challenges of the new year that we face. We look forward to a continuing good relationship with the executive branch. We'd like to thank the public for your continued support of our institution, and we'd like to continue to encourage all of you to participate in our meetings, attend our meetings, listen to us online, and call us whenever you think that it's necessary. We're always available. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Calling the roll, Mr. Miller?
Present.
Mr. Brady?
Present.
Mr. Germana?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
Mr. Schron? Ms. Conwell?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Rogers?
Here.
Ms. Simon?
Here.
Mr. Greenspan?
Here.
Ms. Conley?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All please rise to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For our moment of silence for this evening, I'd like to recognize the fact that Martin Luther King's birthday will be on January the 15th. It'll be celebrated next Monday, which is an official holiday. There will be a number of events, including a concert at Severance Hall on Sunday evening. And we'd like to reflect on the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, and that he will be 83 years old on his birthday. Thank you. Is there anyone signed in for public comment related to the agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair. Yes, Madam Chair, but I'm unclear as to whether or not it relates to the agenda. It has to do with child support.
You can come forward.
Mr. Matt Howard. Also, I'd like to recognize that Mr. Schron has entered the meeting.
You have 3 minutes. Welcome. Give us your name.
Welcome. My name is Matt Howard. I'm from Warrensville Heights in Cuyahoga County. I was coming up because there's a serious disparity within the child support system. I'm a single father, have custody of 2 boys, and I've just been getting a runaround so bad as it relates to child support. The people there are very rude. They kind of wash you off a little bit and brush you away as far as answering questions for you. I have been paying $900 a month for 2 children that live with me, and I was forced to go to court and to show that I have custody and that they are my children before they would do it. Well, it took them 6 months for me to get a court date, and when I did go to court, it was in front of a magistrate. Child support does not uphold a magistrate's ruling, so my argument to child support was, well, why did you waste my time and sending me to a magistrate where you don't even have to uphold or listen to their ruling? And later on, it was taken care of, but like I said, so much time it went by, and at the time I was unemployed, and for an unemployed man making about $2,000 a month to be paying $900 and still be feeding and taking care of other children, nobody cared to help, nobody. And all I got was attitudes from about 9 out of 10 people that I spoke to. And this is an issue that really needs to be addressed. I've contacted Fatherhood Initiative. I had to represent myself as an attorney. And it was a very trying and troubling matter where we live in a society today where both parents are working And it's not customary as it used to be in the old days where mom was at home and she took care of the children and everything else. Well, a lot of men are stepping up now and handling the responsibilities of mother and father. And it just, to me, in my experience, this shouldn't happen to anybody. And I've noticed a serious disparity and a biasness against men within this system. And I would just like that to be addressed as a new business or however it is that you would like to handle it for the next meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. If you would make sure, Mr. Werner is here from Children's Family Services, and he's the director, and I'm going to send you to him and make sure that he gets your name and your information, and I hope that you have your case numbers and all that kind of information, and he will follow up with you. And if you have any other problems, we'll be happy to talk with you, okay?
Okay.
'Cause
Mr. Werner?
Right, the gentleman right there.
Okay.
Okay,
All
and
right.
you do live in my district, so if you have any problem, you can call me.
Okay.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
All right, did anyone else sign in for public comment?
No, Madam Chair, no one has signed in.
Okay. Did we note Mr. Schron is present? Yeah, okay. Did you think it was at 6 o'clock?
I thought it was 6 o'clock. Didn't they win that vote?
Okay. Item 6, the approval of the minutes. The minutes of our last meeting, December 13th, are included in your packet. Also are included are all the contracts signed by the executive, if the public or we've had an opportunity to review those. Is there a minute to approve the minutes as circulated? As moved, is that Mr. Greenspan? Moved by Mr. Greenspan, seconded by Ms. Simons. Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The minutes are adopted. Mr. Fitzgerald.
Good evening, Madam President, and I'm responsible for Mr. Schron being late. I was telling stories in my office, and I was wasting some of his time, so I will take the blame for his tardiness. I will, just a couple things that I wanted to mention. One is that, and you're going to receive a presentation on this. I think originally we had talked about doing it today, but I think it's going to be next week now. But there's been some media coverage of it, and that has to do with the property study that the Allegro Group has completed. That you have received a copy of the main body of that report. I just want to reiterate to the council that we want to have a consultative process with the council about how that unfolds. It's a major opportunity for the county to become more efficient, to create a better working environment for workers, and also a better customer service experience for the residents. And as you know from seeing the study, there's an estimate that we could save net approximately $56 million over 10 years. We're trying to be as different as we possibly can from the way that the county process unfolded in the Ameritrust, what's now called the Ameritrust fiasco. And so we're trying to be as transparent and as open as possible. So we will look forward to your input and your suggestions on that. What I'm hopeful that we'll be able to do is, in addition to all the things I said about saving money and helping workers and customers, there's also an opportunity to add to the vibrancy of downtown by how we manage this property portfolio. And although we have inefficiencies, it actually should be really seen as, in a physical sense, these are assets. So if somebody was acquiring the county as if they were acquiring a business, they would actually consider this to be a plus, because we have a lot of money that has actually been invested in buildings that if we can figure out a way to liberate that money, we can invest it in things that can improve this county. So I think we're off to a good start. We are going to start going through an RFP process next, but we're going to have discussions with you about that before that goes out. On another policy note, quickly, there was an article you may have seen in the paper today, but Norberto Colon is available to you, to your Public Safety Committee or any other appropriate committee that you would like to if you would like to hear additional information about the study that was done on the various 911 dispatch centers throughout Cuyahoga County. But I would just say, to just highlight it, the fact that this county has 47 separate public service answering centers in one county, which is more than any other, by far more than any other county, even adjusted by per capita, is more than any other county in Ohio is a significant inefficiency that the county has an opportunity to play a role in addressing. Those 47 centers, by the way, cost an average of $500,000 a piece. We are not providing the best service to our residents, and we are certainly not doing it in a way that is cost effective. And so this study is an opportunity to start down that road. Now, we have had money in the county before that was supposed to be reserved for this purpose, and some of that money just actually ended up laying dormant in funds and actually wasn't spent. And we need to be using those funds in a way to try to make it possible for municipalities to merge their functions. We have been having conversations with groups of suburbs in actually all corners of the county. But again, I would just invite you, if you would entertain or you would be interested in any presentations before any committees that you haven't already had, I'd be happy to do that. Lastly, we have a town hall. I have a town hall meeting coming up in Councilman Greenspan's ward in North Olmsted on, do you know when and where it is? It's on the
25th, 7 o'clock at the North Olmsted Library.
Okay. So I invite any of you or your constituents that are interested. I will not be giving Councilman Greenspan any time to talk if any of you are concerned about that. But other than that, we're looking forward to a good discussion out there. Thank you very much, Madam President.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, Madam President, I'm
Yes.
sorry. I also want to take this, I don't want to call him Bob Iry's replacement because Bob cannot be replaced, and we're jealous of him. He sends us email messages from San Francisco when it's 75 degrees out there. But I've hired Melvin Davis as a special assistant in particular, who's going to be the liaison to county council. I know he's had an opportunity to meet some of you. He will be at your disposal, and just like Bob was, to try to work on any issues that we might have. He'll be my representative to be present at most of your committee hearings and so forth. He has an outstanding background that he can explain to you if you would like, but he has a long record of public service. He most recently worked as the clerk of council, so in the city of East Cleveland. So he has dealt with legislative bodies with some challenges sometimes, and so he's looking forward to this, and we're very happy to have him here.
Welcome. And I'd also like to congratulate Mr. Fitzgerald for being named #1 by Inside Business. Is it most influential?
Most influential of the 100 top one influential people in the county, or in the area.
You did better than I did with the Scene magazine, so I
Well.
congratulate you.
I don't know what the validity of those rankings are. When I saw I was #1 and Toby Cosgrove was #2, I kind of questioned their.
Did you want to
the
switch
accuracy
salaries
of
with
those
him?
things. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But thank you. Thanks for the
All
comment.
right. All right, item 8, consideration of council for first reading referral to committee. Item 0001.
Motion number 2012-0001, a motion confirming the county executive's appointment of Alfonso P. Sanchez to serve on the Cuyahoga County Community-Based Correctional Facility Governing Board and declaring the necessity that this motion become immediately effective.
This matter will be referred to the Human Resource Committee. Mr. Sanchez's resume is available in your pack, and it's also available online if anyone is interested in reviewing it. And all three of the people that are going to be referred to these committees, their information is online for those who are interested. So this will go to Ms. Conwell's Human Resource Committee.
Motion number 2012-0002, a motion confirming the county executive's appointment of Edna Fuentes Casiano to serve on the Cuyahoga County Public Library Board of Trustees and declaring the necessity that this motion become immediately effective.
So go to the Human Resource Committee.
Motion number 2012-0003, a motion confirming the county executive's appointment of Barbara J. Thomas to serve on the Office of Homeless Services Advisory Board and declaring the necessity that this motion become immediately effective.
We'll go to Human Resources. Item 9, consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. This is an item that is a result of recent budgetary discussions that we approved in part during our budget hearings. These changes include salary adjustments for some of our staff and changing in their titles to accurately reflect their job descriptions. So I'm asking for a motion pursuant to Rule 12A and 9D to suspend the rules so that we can pass this evening. Ms. Simon?
Thank you, Madam President. I move we suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Simon and seconded by Mr. Gallagher to suspend the rules. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended. Item R, 2012-0001.
Resolution 2012-0001, a resolution clarifying job titles and adjusting compensation of some Cuyahoga County Council staff and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
All right, is there any discussion on this? All those in favor indicate by...
Here we need a
I'm
first
sorry,
and a
I'm sorry.
second.
It's okay.
Moved by Mr. Schron, first and seconded by Mr. Rogers. Is there any discussion on this? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. You get rusty after, what, a month or something? Okay, item 10. This is our insert here, wait a minute. Item 10, consideration of an ordinance of council for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. This item is a matter of some exigent circumstances, and I'm asking that the rules, Rule 9D and 12A, be suspended on this matter. Ms. Simon?
Madam President, thank you. I move we suspend the rules.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Simon and seconded by Mr. Gallagher to suspend the rules. Is there any discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended. Item 0002, ordinance, the first ordinance of the semester.
Ordinance number 2012-0002, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2011-0008 as amended, which enacted the Cuyahoga County Code of Ethics and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Schron and seconded by Ms. Conwell. And I'm going to call on Mr. Greenspan for an explanation of this.
Thank you, Madam President. As we know, I'm probably the biggest proponent of, or opponent of first reading suspension of rules unless there's a defined necessity. And as I believe there is in this case, this is an amendment to an ethics ordinance that would basically modify the qualifications for contractors doing business with the county who do business with the county less than $15,000 a year. These are primarily small businesses that do a very small business with the county. Sometimes their margins aren't even great enough to cover the cost of the $100 registration fee. So this is an ordinance amendment that is, I believe, responsive and responsible to some of the circumstances that our ordinances unintentionally, that this ethics ordinance unintentionally encumbered upon these businesses. And I would ask my colleagues for their support in this ordinance amendment.
Is there any discussion on this? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The ordinance is adopted. Item 11, consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. This matter involves our budgetary transfers and also involves a matter where it's actually generating revenue, where the county will be getting money from the city of Cleveland. So is there a motion to suspend the rules pursuant to Rule 12A and 9D?
I so move.
All right, moved by Ms. Simon and seconded by Mr. Gallagher. Is there any discussion on suspension of the rules? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All right, opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended. Item 0002, the biennial operating budget.
Resolution number 2012-0002, a resolution amending the 2012-2013 biennial operating budget by providing for additional fiscal appropriations from the general fund and other funding sources, for appropriation transfers between budget accounts, and for cash transfers between budgetary funds in order to meet the budgetary needs of various county departments, offices, and agencies, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
That.
Moved by Mr. Miller and seconded by Ms. Conwell. Mr. Miller, would you want to be heard on this? We've all had an opportunity to review it. I've reviewed it. Mr. Miller always goes over with a sharper pencil.
Madam President and my colleagues, in my opinion, this is the most routine of all the financial transfer items we've seen to date. It contains a small number of items, almost all of it, which relate to implementing grants that we've received.
Okay. All right, any other questions or discussions? We don't have to call Mr. Rubino on the line? Okay. All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Item 0003.
Resolution number 2012-0003, a resolution approving a revenue-generating agreement with City of Cleveland, Cleveland Municipal Court, in the amount not to exceed $1,804,656 for legal services for indigent persons for the period January 1, 2011 through December 31, 2011, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Sharon and seconded by Mr. Miller. Is there any discussion on this? I see Mr. Tobick is here from the Public Defender's Office.
Madam President?
Yes.
Just wondering why the dates are in 2011.
Mr. Tobick, you want to come up?
Madam President, this has taken a long time working its way through the system, and this is reaffirming last year's contract. And now that the procedures have solidified, we will have, hopefully they want to renew for the coming year, and will be in advance.
So would this, a similar resolution be coming before us for 2012?
Yes. The procedure is the city has to send a letter to the court then asks us to renew, and then we'll be back here.
Okay.
This is money coming to us, right?
This is money coming to us, yes.
Yeah, this is revenue generating, so we don't want to turn them down. Okay.
Madam President?
Yes.
To Mr. Tobin, how much money is to be generated, and the money for 2011, have we received it yet, or is it yet to come?
It's yet to come.
And when will we be receiving that?
As soon as the contract is approved.
Okay, all right. All right, Al? All right, Al, any other discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Tobin.
you.
Item 12 is a matter that is going to go into executive session, so we're going to take that at the end of the agenda. And we'll move on to item 13, consideration of resolutions for first reading referral to committee. Item 0004.
Resolution number 2012-0004, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires deck sealing of various bridges in connection with the Bridge Deck Sealing Program. Total estimated construction costs, $150,000, and finding that special assessments are not to be levied and collected to pay any part of the county's costs of said improvements for the bridges and in the cities as listed on the agenda, items 1 through 7.
This matter will refer to Public Works. This is the first step in this process, and I actually was reading over the resolution. The county is required to do this. Under the Ohio Revised Code 5591.02, the county shall construct and keep in repair all necessary bridges in municipal corporations and all county roads and improved roads that are a general and public utility running into or through the municipal corporations and that are not on state highways. And the county shall construct and keep in repair necessary bridges over streams, public canals, and/or connecting state, county, or improved roads. So we're required to do this. This is the first step, and Mr. Jones will take this up in Public Works. Item 0005.
Resolution number 2012-0005, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires replacement of sidewalks on various bridges in connection with the Bridge Sidewalk Replacement Program. Total estimated construction costs, $1,250,000, and finding that special assessments are not to be levied and collected to pay any part of the county's costs of said improvements for the east side projects at the bridges and in the communities as printed on the agenda, and for the west side project for the bridges and cities as printed on the agenda.
And this is the same situation. We have to maintain the bridges, the sidewalks pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code. So this will go to Mr. Jones in Public Works.
Resolution number 2012-0006, a resolution declaring that public convenience and welfare requires various replacements on various bridges. Total estimated construction cost $150,000 each, and finding that special assessments are not to be levied and collected to pay any part of the county's costs of said improvements as printed on the agenda items 1 and 2.
This will go to Public Works.
Resolution number 2012-0007, a resolution approving a participation and redevelopment agreement with Cleveland Housing Network Incorporated for the Emerald Alliance 7 redevelopment project located at 9431 Lorraine Avenue and 3147 West 95th Street, Cleveland, for the period October 10, 2011 through October 9, 2015, in connection with the Clean Ohio Assistance Fund grant agreement with State of Ohio Department of Development in the amount of $656,272, authorizing the county executive to execute the agreement and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This will go to Economic Development.
Resolution number 2012-0008, a resolution proclaiming the month of March 2012 as Save Our Homes Month in Cuyahoga County and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
This matter will go to Health and Human Services. This provides for a, the purpose of this month will be to educate the Cuyahoga County residents about the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas foreclosure mediation program and the free resources that are available in connection with the foreclosure process. This mediation service is free, and we'll get some more information at the committee meetings and hopefully focus on it when it's adopted. We'll have someone here for a presentation. So that'll go to Health and Human Services.
Resolution number 2012-0009, a resolution approving an amendment to contract number CE 1100151 with Berea Children's Home for community-based treatment center management services for the period January 1, 2011 through June 30, 2011, to extend the time period to June 30, 2012, and for additional funds in the amount of $1,153,828.80, authorizing the county executive to execute the amendment and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Let's go to Health and Human Services. All right,
Madam Chair, I believe Justice Affairs.
Justice Affairs.
Oh, okay. Why did I have a question mark? I guess so. All right, what's this to Justice Affairs? Will this get on your agenda for Friday's meetings or the following week? Okay. All right, item 14, committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of the rules. So this matter has already been referred to committee pursuant to Rule 12A, and we're asking for suspension of the rules that requires 3 readings. Ms. Simon?
I move we suspend the rules.
I move by Ms. Simon, seconded by Mr. Gallagher. Is there any discussion? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The rules are suspended. Item 0341.
Resolution number 2011-0341, a resolution authorizing a contract with Emerald Development and Economic Network Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $605,412 for the Shelter Plus Care sponsor-based rental assistance program in connection with the fiscal year 2010 Continuum of Care Homeless Assistance Grant Programs and the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act for the period August 1, 2011 through July 31, 2012. Authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Madam Chairperson.
Moved by Mr. Schrein and seconded by
Second.
Ms. Conwell. Look this way next time. Mr. Brady.
Yes, this is, these funds, we had a good conversation in committee over these funds. It's all under the umbrella of the Office of Human Services, Homeless Services. There are three items here. The first and the third are federal funds. The second is Health and Human Service funds for homeless services.
All right, is there any other discussion? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Item 0342.
Resolution number 2011-0342, a resolution authorizing a contract with MHS Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $600,000 for the North Point Transitional Housing for Men program for the period October 1, 2011 through March 31, 2012, authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Schrein, seconded by Ms. Conwell. Is there any discussion on this? This is the same. Mr. Brady, anything else on this one?
This particular one is funded by Health and Human Services. These are part of the homeless services that we provide. These are for folks that are living outside of the homeless shelters.
All right, any other discussion? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Item 0343.
Resolution number 2011-0343, a resolution authorizing a contract with the Salvation Army in the amount not to exceed $527,499 for the PASS Transitional Housing Project for the Supportive Housing Program in connection with the fiscal year 2010 Continuum of Care for Homeless Assistance Grant Programs and the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act for the period November 1, 2011 through October 31, 2012. Authorizing the county executive to execute the contract and all other documents consistent with this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Moved by Mr. Brady and seconded by Mr. Miller. All right, any more discussion on this one, Mr. Brady?
No, these are all three are similar.
All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Item 0345.
Resolution number 2011-0345, a resolution making an award on requisition number 21089 to Wellness IQ Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $1,231,000 for Vitality Wellness Services for tracking county employees participating in the county's health benefit plans for the period January 1, 2012 through December 31, 2014, authorizing the county executive to execute a contract and all other documents consistent with said award and this resolution, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
Moved by Mr. Rogers and seconded by Ms. Simon. Any discussion on this one? All right, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Item 15, consideration of an ordinance for first reading referral to committee.
Ordinance number 2012-0001, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2011-0016 as amended, which established the organizational structure of the Department of Law.
This will be referred to Human Resources.
Madam President?
Yes.
Would you consider having this a joint committee with Justice Affairs, since it does go into detail with some legal structuring? I think it would be beneficial.
That's fine. Is it okay with you, Ms. Conwell? All right. So it'll be Justice Affairs and Human Resources. All right, item 16, committee report and consideration of an ordinance for second reading. Item 0061.
Ordinance number 2011-0061, an ordinance providing for modifications and adoption of the county's Human Resources Personnel Policies and Procedures Manual to be applicable to all county employees, and declaring the necessity that this ordinance become immediately effective.
There's no action to be taken on this. It'll be on for third reading on, I believe, the 24th. I just want to make it clear that this manual is available online, the entire manual, and it's also reprinted in the information that we have. So anyone who would like to read it online, or the copies will be available at our office to see this employee manual. So it'll be on for the 24th. All right, let's go back to item 12. Item 12 is consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of the rules. This matter is a fact-finding, well, Madam Clerk, why don't you read it?
The resolution as printed on the agenda, resolution number 2012-0010, a resolution either accepting or rejecting the report containing findings and recommendations of fact finder Nels E. Nelson regarding negotiations between the county and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association for a collective bargaining agreement covering approximately 11 employees in the classification of Protective Services Sergeant at the Sheriff's Department, and declaring the necessity that this resolution become immediately effective.
I believe there's a motion to amend. Ms. Simon?
Yes, Madam President. I move that we amend item 12 to delete item C.
Yeah, we had on our agenda to discuss some items on real estate, which we are not going to discuss pursuant to what Mr. Fitzgerald said. So I guess we need a motion on the amendment. Is that correct?
Madam President, if I may, the other item is Mr. Lambert and outside counsel is already here. So probably if we reverse the order, do the pending litigation first, so this way they can leave, and then we can do the fact-finding after that.
Okay. So we still need a motion to amend the agenda to delete item C. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So the motion is to delete item C and then just reverse A and B.
We can take them in whatever order.
Yeah.
So my motion then would be to delete C and to change the order of A and B, to put B first and A after B.
Second.
All right, so moved and seconded moved by Ms. Simon and seconded by Mr. Gallagher to amend the agenda to delete item C and take item B first and then A. Any discussion on that? All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, the ayes have it. The resolution is amended. This is a matter that has to go into executive section pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 122.11, the so-called Sunshine Law. Council will go into executive session. By going into executive session pursuant to law, the council, as any other public body, is exempt from the public meeting requirements of the law because of the nature of the matters being discussed. This means that council will confer outside of the hearing of the public. These executive sessions are specifically provided for in the law so that public bodies such as council can confer with their lawyers or deal with personnel problems. In this matter, council has to deal with a personnel matter regarding a fact-finding matter prepared by a mediator relating to Cuyahoga County, Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, and certain matters relative to collective bargaining. Council also has to deal with, discuss with their lawyers regarding pending litigation. No decisions regarding the final disposition of these matters were made during the session. It will be informational only. Minutes will be prepared relative to the number of matters that were discussed and the duration of the meetings. You as the public have elected the members of this council and entrusted us with grave responsibility. Each of us takes this responsibility very seriously, and so that we ensure that the public trust is well maintained and that we will make decisions based on pertinent and factual information, we will need to go into executive session to discuss matters with our attorneys. This executive session is anticipated to last about 30 minutes. We're asking the members of the public to vacate so that we can use the chambers. And I need a motion and also a roll call vote.
Madam President?
Yes.
I move that the council now go into executive session for the purpose of conferring with legal counsel on matters relating to collective bargaining and pending litigation.
It's moved by Mr. Miller and seconded by Mr. Germain. Is that Greenspan? Brady. Okay. I don't know, y'all sound alike. Is there any discussion on that? right, Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Moving to executive session, Mr. Miller? Yes. Mr. Brady? Yes. Mr. Germana? Yes. Mr. Gallagher?
Yes.
Mr. Shawn?
Yes.
Ms. Conwell? Yes. Mr. Jones? Yes. Mr. Rogers? Yes. Ms. Simon? Yes. Mr. Greenspan?
Yes.
Ms. Conley?
Yes. All right, the ayes have it. We will go into executive session. If the public will vacate, and we will notify you in about 30 minutes when we're done.